How you doing? I am live out here in Brooklyn. Look at that. That is the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway. I am on the elevated part of that. I am walking towards the 76th precinct, which you can find here. On Union Street. See, if you came over to Union Street, what you would do is this is the highway here. Okay, so we're between Hicks and I believe the block up is Henry Street. And I wanted to come by and talk a little bit about asset forfeitures. As everyone knows, I have a very small trailer from 1962. I've had it for about 5 years. And this trailer is a very unique trailer. You see how the lights are still shining on this trailer? You see the lights? They're still shining. Why are they still shining? Because on the top of this trailer I have solar panels. And this trailer was seized by the 76th precinct. That's right here. Here's the 76th precinct. And the 76th precinct seized this trailer. And from what I was told, they emptied the whole entire trailer out. Did they take the electronics? No, because the batteries are doing that. So this here is the vehicle that's used to pull the trailer. A fully registered and insured vehicles are parked on the streets down the block from the precinct. Because there's a thing called asset. Like if you own something, those are your assets. And in America, they are allowed to take away your assets if they feel that assets were acquired by illegal means or money. So if you're making money illegally and you use that money to purchase assets, then there is this idea that they don't need to charge you with a crime. All they need to do is, look at this. They emptied the whole inside. The whole inside of the trailer has been emptied. They feel that they have the right to take your property. And once they take your property, they believe that you then have to prove that you got that legally. The beautiful thing about me is that all my assets were gained through legal means, and I have tax returns to prove that I was employed the times when I bought this 5-6 years ago. Well, this might be 7 years I've had this, and 5-6 years I've had that, where the registration would show that. And then I have video of my family actually vacationing in this, where we vacationed in this thing pre-COVID. So they do have their hands full trying to take my property in a bully measure, because they are the moral police right now we have. And I heard a lot of the people that live here are curious about what's going on. Why is this RV here? So hopefully I will tag this properly and hashtag this properly, where people will be able to People will be able to go to this. Whoa, what an ugly face. I mean, miserable humans. And this is the 76th precinct that thinks it's okay to take people's property under the the guise of asset forfeiture. Asset forfeiture is the reason why my property is out here. Property that I can prove that I've owned for half of a decade. And how will they feel when I get my property back? How will they feel? Because all of this is 100% about cannabis, where they haven't passed any laws to stop what I'm doing. So they decided to drive past, they drive up here and they go to the next block, which is Court, and they make the right, and they pass by 3 dispensaries that are working along the gray market in order to get to mines. That's in the back roads of Red Hook. So I'm in the back roads of Red Hook where nobody's around, and they asset forfeit my vehicle and my trailer. I was polite enough to add solar panels so that I didn't run a generator and make a lot of noise and destroy the environment with fossil fuels. And they're hating on me. Hating on the idea that there's this guy on the back of Red Hook where no one else goes, trying to maximize the gray market, trying to understand and know that in America they will dangle the carrot in your face and tell you what you're gonna do. So the proverbial candle has been dangled in my face. Let me lock this up here. That's better. But they've emptied out. I had a bunch of tools in here that I was some propane tanks because we like to keep it warm. And looks like they took out the refrigerator. And this is what's going on. This is what's happening here. This is what's going on here in New York City. People are taking your assets because they want you to prove that you got these assets through legal means. So they don't need to charge you with a crime because there is no crime. So here we are. My family's weekender. It's so cool how many videos I have with my family inside of this trailer. So many cool videos. Let me close this one here too. This one always gives you trouble. You're supposed to do this one first and the other one second. Oh well. I don't want to spend too much time out here and give anybody... Oh, there it goes. Perfect. It's a beautiful trailer from 1962. I boondocked in this trailer over at the Far Rockaways. I was in the Far Rockaways with this trailer, and we had so much fun. My kids were like 6, 7 years old, and 5 years old. 5 and 7 the last time. We were supposed to take this to see the eclipse between the states of Mount Vernon and New Hampshire. Between the states of Mount Vernon and New Hampshire, we're supposed to take this to see the eclipse, the solar eclipse. Yeah.
Then I'm not going to move in, so we'll go you all the way. You're good.
That's cool. Nobody had anything to say. That's I love that. What's going on with this trailer, man? Why is it here? Most people in this neighborhood, all these good people that live here, look, every single light is on in this building. And then you'll have buildings where no lights will be on. Like down here, a little further down, you know? But I just wanted to do a quick video and talk to the good people on these interweb streets that in this country, no, it's not South Korea. I mean, North Korea. We're not in North Korea, but there are some North Korean tactics that are being made constantly. And these North Korean tactics are asset forfeitures. Asset forfeitures. Do you agree with asset forfeitures? That you don't need to commit a crime or be even charged with a crime? You don't even have to be... All they have to say is, we believe you bought something with illegal means. The power that is given to the local police is shameful. Why in the world would anyone okay something like that? You don't commit a crime. You don't do anything, no criminality. But yet, we don't like you where you're at, so we're taking it. That's the consensus. The consensus is that we will take your property whenever we want. That wrong? I don't know. So sad that the wielding of this power and how abusive it is, how people abuse their power. Well, I see they didn't rip out any of the electronics. So the only reason why it's blinking is because the batteries are under 12 volts. Well, I guess when the battery gets under 9 volts, then it starts to blink. And then the top lights, they don't want to come on. Like, we only have one in the center. The other two are struggling. It's been a rainy New York City day. It's been a day where the sun hasn't been able to come down and beat down on this. But, you know, there is a thing called due process. Well, here's due process. Due process is basically for people that are charged with a crime, and then they get to prove that they, through like attorneys and lawyers and all that, they get to be exonerated from a crime. So you do this crime, or you're accused of a crime, and then you go through the due process of fighting the charges. So asset forfeiture just allows law enforcement to actually go around, and it's called they stretch their arm over the law, and what they do is they just take, and now it's your turn to prove your innocence. You have to prove your innocence because there is no crime. So I might sound a little redundant out here, but I do want to say that I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in to this channel. I'm a little guy, I'm a spoke on the wheel. And this spoke on the wheel is well aware of the beauty of having receipts having bill of sales and dates and proof, that you have this asset has come into your life legally. And when you have those receipts, you can stick up the middle finger to the 76th precinct and say, your asset forfeiture is a joke, and nor do I respect you any longer. Any longer will you be respected.
Where? Here? Alright. It might be a little awkward because these guys gotta get around you, but we'll see what we can do.
Asset forfeitures. Super duper North Korean in America for the public. So the next time you hear a story about somebody who didn't commit a crime, hasn't been someone who hasn't been, let me take a look at this lady on her plates. Asset forfeitures. Hasn't been accused of a crime, have no proof that there's ever been a crime committed, but yet they take their Lamborghini out of their driveway, or they take their boat out of their storage unit because they feel that you got that through ill means. It's really sad. It's really unfortunate that this country has become a place where something like that is regular in America. It's not too common. Like in New York, if you are arrested and you got $1,000 in your pocket and they caught you, with a bag of weed or something like that, then they seize your money. So that's asset forfeitures, that cash. It's very normal in New York, but for them to take your property the way they did me is not the normal way of doing things. But unfortunately, I've been the victim of such a horrible tragedy or travesty. You are appreciated for tuning in to this channel. And this is the second trailer that I had. Well, this would be the third. The other two trailers were taken because, they were taken for the same exact reason. They didn't like what I, in their mind, was doing. Even though there's no crime, there's no laws on the books for what I'm doing. There's no laws that can say, hey, Elvis, what you're doing is illegal. No. Somehow the NYPD has become the morality police. But they will drive by 3 smoke shops that are owned by Arabs, Muslims. They don't get a problem. The Arabs and Muslims, they're allowed to rock. Once the law changes, they will do whatever they got to do to get them out of there. Me, on the other hand, black man in America, oh, hell no. Y'all trying to make some money out here? Oh, no. We're going to figure out everything we can do to bully you. And when the bullying doesn't work, then we're going to arrest you. And now that the arrest isn't going to work, we're going to take your stuff for asset forfeitures. That's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with asset forfeitures done by corrupt NYPD 76th precinct. I'm not saying that the whole 76th precinct is the problem, but the higher ups at the 76th precinct, the captain at the 76th precinct, which his name will be in the description, along with his badge number, the arresting officer that arrested LJ for a no crime, his name and badge number will be in the description. The number to the precinct will be in the description. And I would ask you to maybe give these good people a call and tell them how great of a job they're doing and how they're protecting and serving Americans, and how at the end of the day justice will prevail. At the end of the day, we will win. Asset forfeitures in New York City, where there's no crime, no convictions, no accusations of a crime. It's just that we don't like you, so we're going to screw you. I'll have all that information in the description. It's a sad day in America when we are looking like North Korea. It's truly a sad day in America. Well, Steve Ladner, the good cops were there too, but they have to follow orders. The good cops were there. As individuals, these cops are good people. They care about the community. They are not looking to abuse their authorities. There are tons of good cops out here that want to do nothing but help the community. But the problem is that NYPD is a paramilitary organization. And in this paramilitary organization, they have to follow orders. They're order followers. They cannot be individuals. They cannot be the nice cop who always says hi to you and smiles at you and give you a break and don't give you a ticket. None of that matters. If they're told to give you a ticket, they have to give you a ticket. If they're told that we're going to go and we're going to falsely arrest somebody and take their property under this asset forfeiture clause, then there's nothing you can do about it. It's getting done. It's happening. Period. Wow. No. Who's that? Land of the free, home of the slaves, fact. But now we're all slaves. I'm not the only one privy to slavery from the time when it was slavery popping. Now we're all slaves. Right. Yes, Mayor Adams. Oh man, Carlton Way. What up, man? One. Yeah, right. This is ridiculous. Hope you're not ridiculous. That's MW 101. I hope so too. I actually, honestly, I'm like 99.9999999% sure I'm going to get my property back because I can prove that the property was gained while I was gainfully employed with taxes to prove the year. This is before Corona, and I shouldn't have a problem. Asset forfeitures in New York City. And then they took away all the stuff that was inside and inventoried it. So, this is a minor setback for a really big comeback. Have you guys ever heard of that? Minor setback for a big comeback. And that's all I see this is, as a minor setback. And what's interesting is that this hasn't stopped anything. We're not committing any crimes. And the day and the time and the hour, the day, the minute, and the second that this becomes illegal, I will retire. I hope to have my license before then, because I filed for my license and then they told me, we really want to give you your license, Elvis, but you're in debt, so you got to get out of debt. So I liquidated some stocks and I paid off all my debt. So now I'm just waiting, because they sent me a paper that I had to prove that I was profitable for 2 years, and they wanted to see my tax returns for 2015 and 2020. So I'm submitting those tax returns, and I should be able to get my license to run a legal cannabis business here in New York City. Because every year I was profitable when I had my business, and that's the pizzeria. They wanted somebody who had businesses, who had payroll. I had businesses, I had payroll, I had insurance, and grab that. Never helps, because their egos are so fragile from having so much power from the age of 21, 22 years old. So we're dealing with a group of people that unfortunately can't help themselves but express themselves through violence, ultimate domination of another human being, and by ways of violence and lies. You are appreciated. Again, I keep saying it over and over again because it's so true. Minor setback to a major comeback.